Hey guys, welcome back to the Pistonhead Podcast. On this episode, Garrett, Clayton, and I catch up. We haven't talked to Garrett in a little while, so I want to hear a little bit more about what's going on in his world, his big move out west, how things are going there. We talk about the 2JZ R34 build that we released a whole bunch of stuff on recently. Garrett talks about taking a poop in an abandoned building. It's actually a really good story. We talk a little bit about Clayton's Supra updates, some truck stuff, lathe stuff. This episode's kind of got it all, so enjoy. Okay, I'm good.
All right, I'm running.
Okay.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
I've been doing intros to the podcast after because I find that usually this shit's so irreverent that it doesn't make sense anyways.
Irreverent?
Yeah.
Oh.
Proper use of the word.
I'm going to have to Google that.
Yeah, go for it. Anyways, so for anybody listening, it is, do you guys want to introduce yourselves? Like, I don't know. I guess people already know who you are, but maybe not.
You're the host.
I'm not a host.
Do your job.
Do my job. Okay, so we've got Garrett and Clayton, the Manero brothers. Clayton's not known for anything, but Garrett recently put, well, I guess you did it like 2 years ago, put a 2JZ into an R34, which we've been promoting the hell out of. So if you're listening to this, stop whatever you're doing, go to the YouTube channel, watch the video. There's two of them up right now. There's one of the burnout and two-step and launching and all that fun shit. And then there's the long-form video of Garrett explaining exactly what he did and why he did it. So there's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you want to get into that at all? Like why you want to do it? Other than because your brother got his Supra and you're like, hey, I need 2J in my life?
Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I mean, the video pretty much explains it all. But I don't know. Yeah, I liked Clayton's car so much that I wanted my own. But I didn't want a Supra because he already had one. So yeah, Skyline.
Just 2J everything.
Yeah, I mean, I've always obviously loved that car because, Paul Walker and all that shit. So I bought one and then didn't think about swapping it until I realized that I could swap it, and then I did it.
Yeah, because like we kind of did the math, and it's like, okay, 10 grand into an RB, and you get like what 400 undependable horsepower, or 600. Let's say.
We'll say 550 safe.
Yeah, and then or 10 grand into a Supra, and you get like 800 and no problems.
More or less, yeah. I mean, I've spent a bit more than that on it, but the initial swap was under 10,000. Yeah. And what tranny did you end up going with on it again? That's the factory tranny, the RB25.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a 5-speed. It's the same transmission that's in the twin turbo 300ZX, and I believe the Nissan Pathfinder has a similar gear set, but not the same ratios. Similar set, but I've been told that the rebuild kits are identical between them. So, but in terms of the actual 5-speed gearbox, I think the Z32 is almost exactly the same. In terms of in terms of the gearing, the only difference is between the two is the bell housing bolt pattern. The input shaft is a little bit different length. I think the 300's a bit shorter, or no, the RB is a bit shorter. Either that or the Z32 bell housing is because the bell housing is longer, so the input shaft's longer. Yeah, so the 25's input shaft is a bit shorter, and the shifter on the Z32 needs to sit back, I think, a few inches. So it's on like a little tripod thing, like on the V160 the Supra. Versus the RB25 transmission, it's more like a RB20 or SR trans where the shifter goes right into the transmission through the top. But it looks to me, from looking at pictures, you could unbolt the assembly from the Z32 trans and then just bolt in the top piece off the RB, and you could just use an entire Z32 transmission, swap it out for an RB25 transmission, and it would be the same thing.
Huh.
From what I can tell.
If you need more parts, you can just butcher the girlfriend's car.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hers is an auto, so.
I didn't know that. Oh, man.
Although she has two, though. The other one is a 5-speed.
There you go. Butcher it.
Yeah.
Spare transmission. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah. The funny thing is she has a spare auto, so we could just put that in the other car and take the 5-speed of it.
The other thing is it's already a Z32, so it's already butchered.
This is true.
It's already fucked.
But yeah, in terms of if I blow up that transmission and I'm looking for a cheap option, then finding another Z32 trans is the way to go, because of the one I bought that I basically gutted. I bought a perfectly good transmission for $200 and then took nothing out of it except for the bell housing. So the rest of it went to the junkyard.
Scrap value.
Yeah, but that being said, if I need another transmission, I could probably find another Z32 transmission for like less than $500.
Yeah, and just make it work.
Yeah, so that's part of the reason why I went that route when I did it. It just saved me money in the short run and the long run by going with the stock transmission.
Yeah, because in the long run, like really, it would be cheaper to throw like 4 transmissions in that per year than it would be to put a Getrag in.
Yeah, pretty much. And the other option is the 6-speed out of the 370Z, which, I mean, you can do it for like $3,000-ish, but that's $3,000 more than what it cost me to put the RB25 transmission in it. So, I mean,
yeah, that's a good point.
So, minus the $200 for the donor trans, but otherwise, yeah, it was a free transmission basically because it was already in the car.
Which you got like $75 back for scrap.
I don't know. Clayton did it.
I doubt I got that much.
Yeah.
So do you have anything planned for it over the winter?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I fucked up the VVTi gear when I rebuilt it, so I'm gonna replace that. And I'm gonna put some bigger cams in it because the used cams I got from Dylan, I'm just not 100% sure what they are or if they're any good. I mean, they work, but I'm getting a lot of top end noise. I just don't know if that's all from the VVTi gear because it's really coming from the intake side only. All the noise is coming from the intake side. So I know the VVTi gear is rattling pretty good, but that cam noise could be from that, caused by that as well. So I don't know. But I think I'd rather just put some GSC S2 cams in there. And then I know what's in there. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Big spender.
Yeah. Those are what? They're like a 279, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe some S1s. I don't know. I don't think I need 279s. Because, like, what's in there, those ones that are in there now are supposedly 264s. But we don't know because there's no markings on them whatsoever. So, yeah. So even if I get some S1s, which are 272s, right? Somewhere on there?
Yeah, they outperformed the HKS 272s all the way through.
Nice. And they're apparently a lot quieter. Apparently the BC VVTi 272s are actually, like, they're noisy, apparently. They create a lot of rattle in the top end. And I don't know if that's... I mean, it can't be that detrimental because they're a popular make and people still buy them. And they are cheaper than the GSC cams. But a lot of the guys that I was reading the thread, some guy was asking about top-end noise with BC cams. And a lot of guys were just saying just get the GSC cams because they work and they're not noisy like that. So that might be the route I go. Yeah, I need that. Oh, and I think I blew an axle seal at some point because I got like a leak under the rear of the car.
That's not too bad then. That's not like a ton of work.
No, I wanted to keep it to a minimum. I might try to dick around with the oil cooler as well because I have it's horizontal, right? Not vertical. Or sorry, it's vertical, not horizontal. Okay. And I think I'm pretty sure it's the cause of when the car is not running, the dipstick reads like way over full. But when the car is running, it reads like almost empty. And I think it's because when all the oil is going into the cooler, and then when I turn the engine off, it all drains out of the cooler into the oil pan. Because it's because the outlet is facing kind of down, all that the weight it siphons itself out, I think.
Yeah, well, we had the exact same issue like when we did the Thunderbird because we mounted that oil cooler upside down, right?
Okay.
So it drained everything out back into the oil pan. So I actually had to contact Mishimoto and be like, "Yo, what is the capacity of the lines, the cooler and everything? Because this is what I'm doing." And they just told me, I can't remember what it was, but we just added that back in, and I was like, "Okay, here's my new check engine." Like literally, like with a knife on the dipstick, I was like, "Okay, here's my new level."
Oh wow.
Yeah. So. I'm sure we could call them or something like that, or send them a message and be like, "Yo, do some math."
I think all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try to rebuild because the other issue is that it does sit down pretty low, like it sticks out below the lowest part of the bumper. Yeah. So I'm thinking if I can remake the mounts to get it to sit horizontal, then I'll get two birds stoned at once there. Yeah. With that, and then the inlet and outlet will be both on top. and the cooler will be sitting not like lower than the oil filter inlet where the lines go in, so it shouldn't siphon out the oil into the pan. Because I drove it the very first time I drove the car, actually, after finishing the recent upgrades. I topped the oil up to about the halfway mark of the dipstick, took it for a drive, and the car was making a little rattling noises. And this, I think this has nothing to do with this now that I've been driving it. But I pulled the dipstick out and there's nothing on it. I was like, huh, interesting, because all the oil went into the cooler and that was it.
So it was cold, but the whole bearing thing wasn't a great situation.
Yeah, exactly. So now at this point, when I do an oil change, I will fill the oil up to when it says right full, and then start the car, and then check it again, and then while it's running, keep topping it up until I get the level where I want it. Because
So just set it to normal, and then add a bottle of Lucas, and then you're good. That fixes all the problems, all the rattling, the bearings.
I was considering actually throwing some Lucas in there just to see if it quieted the gear down, but I said screw it, I'll just buy a new gear. Who knows how old the one that's on there is? And the issue is there's tolerances and they wear out, and if you take things apart and then you start screwing with it, it's just although it only goes together one way, there still is a bit of play in it, and I think that's part of the problem is I just don't have it perfectly centered. So whatever, I'll just buy a new one and not take it apart.
There you go, and then you've got a spare broken one.
Exactly, but it's something, right? Just a spare. And then like I said, I'll put some other cams in there and double check the valve lash or bucket lash, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And just make sure that's all good, and then I think she should be good for at least
So I
a
think
little
the
bit.
real question is when are you planning on bringing that car back to Ontario, or is it going to live out in the middle of fucking nowhere forever?
Well, it's got to visit somewhere other than here at some point. I just don't know when yet. There's a few shows down south here, like Vancouver, Calgary area, that I want to go to next year. And I would really like to bring the car to one of the Grid Life events, but it's one of those things where do I have the means of getting the car there?
I don't know. You know how to drive, so that sounds like enough means to me.
That's true, but I think once I get the rattle fixed in the motor, I would be confident in driving the car the whole way. Because it's last year before I did all the work to it, it was fine driving to Vancouver and back. So I put 3,500 clicks on it, and it was good.
You're gonna put that just getting to. You what 3,500 clicks just getting back to Ontario.
Yeah, more than that. It's 3,900 and something.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's the one way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's one way. Google Maps is 41 hours. So yeah, it's a lot of driving. I figured I could do it in.
That's like a 10,000 K round trip.
Yeah.
That's a perfect engine break-in.
Yeah, that is
More
engine
than that.
break-in, but yeah, it's a long drive. But I did almost the one-way trip last year, and this is now a completely rebuilt engine with new bearings and rings and all that sort of stuff. So theoretically speaking, it should be fine. And like I said, the only thing that kind of makes me nervous is that top end noise, and it almost disappears once you get above 2,000 RPM. But it's one of those things. And the car doesn't perform funny at all. It picks up nice and quick and builds boost fine. But
Oh, look at that! You're only 34 hours to South Haven.
oh,
Well,
perfect.
it's actually less driving for you. Just go right to the event.
Right to the event. Yeah, I was actually thinking about that for Hotlanta. Just drive straight down there. It's actually the same distance almost.
Really?
Yeah, because it's out on a
That would be
diagonal.
incredible.
Yeah.
I would almost fly.
Yeah, 42
out
hours compared to 40.
Yeah, I would almost fly out to BC to fucking take that drive with you if the flight to BC wasn't just so expensive.
Yeah. Well, it's not that bad if you come in the summertime.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now it's $1,200, but in the summertime it's $580.
Fuck. And I would only need a ticket one way too.
Yeah. Exactly.
As long as you would,
Go to Ontario
well, yeah,
afterwards.
because worst case Ontario, I'd just go back with Clayton.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So that might even be, I don't know, maybe that's something we'll have to look into.
Yeah. I'm planning on, at least for one of the Grid Lives, taking almost a month off. So
There you go. Now we're talking.
So that would make it, because I want to drive to one of them. So whichever one I end up driving to, I'm going to take like 3.5 weeks, something like that off.
Yeah.
So that way I have time to get there and have time there and then get back.
I think it'd be, well, I guess it depends on how the car is running. Like the shortest distance, and it's not even that far off, would be Michigan, but that gives you less time to see if the car is running well. So like Atlanta, you know what I mean, it's a longer drive.
I got
by a
all
few more
summer
hours.
to kind of dick with it.
But yeah, and then I guess worst case, you say fuck it, I'll fly to Atlanta, because that'll be, I bet you the cost to fly it would be very similar to your fuel and food prices.
Yeah, actually flying would probably be cheaper, just because that thing is not nice on fuel.
I think if you do that though, we should sign the car up for HPD.
For what?
High performance driving experience, HPDE. So like just lapping. Road Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
That's a hard one to think about, because like you drove all the way there, so why wouldn't you want to use the car? But at the same time, you have to drive all the way back.
Yeah, and there's no like
So-
oh, we'll leave it here and then come back for it in a couple of days.
Yeah.
It's an R34 in the States. It'll be gone. We'll be lucky if we take it to Atlanta and it doesn't get stolen in the first place.
While we're driving it, someone just fucking get out of the car.
Yeah, I've watched enough movies. Someone will just drive up beside us and point a gun, and we'll all shit our pants.
Yeah. Exit the
I
vehicle.
I don't know
bring
what
Nate-
movies you're watching. I don't see anyone shit their pants.
Oh, apparently I'm watching the wrong kind of heist movies. Then.
Those are the ones on the specials websites.
Well, I was just on the Brazzers network. That was the one I was watching.
It got related to me. I don't know.
Yeah. Based on videos you watch.
Yeah,
I swear it was a link from Netflix that took me there.
oh my god. Yeah, it came up on my Facebook feed. just like all those inappropriate things that come up on Wish.
Yeah. Some of that shit they post there.
Oh,
you're
Garrett,
like,
Garrett hasn't been a part of that conversation.
Yeah, Garrett did miss that. I got suggested a set of ass spreaders.
Nice.
To like peer inside your butthole.
Yeah.
But then we all made fun of Jacob, saying that it's based on your search history on your computer.
Yeah.
And then I had to share a screenshot because then I got one that was like an entire latex suit with a zipper just to open up your ass. I'm like, oh wow, it goes so great with the ass spreader.
I've got the perfect tool for this.
Wow. Mine have been way more tame. I think the only one I've gotten was one of those like magic wand vibrator things.
I keep getting like cocaine and heroin coming up, and I'm like, I'm tempted to buy it just to see if it's
on
shit.
Wish.
Yeah, oh yeah, man, you can buy fucking anything on Wish.
Apparently. Holy shit.
I don't know if that's real.
I don't know either. That's why I want to buy it, because it's real cheap. Because if it's not, it's not really that much of a waste.
That's true.
Yeah, and it's not like they're gonna send me fentanyl and I'm gonna die. That
Just
shit's
gonna send you
expensive.
the FBI.
Yeah, that's a good point. You really imagine like you get your package and it's just some dude like a Mountie holding the box. Be like, did you think you'd get away with it? I'm like, is it actually cocaine?
Yeah.
Because if it's not, you ain't got shit.
It's just like baking soda.
That's probably what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, from China though. So it's probably got some like lice or something in it.
It's still got cocaine in it.
Yeah.
Then.
That's what they use for baking soda there. Freshen your fridge with, uncut, pure cocaine.
Man.
Fuck. So, on a grid life note, I listened to a podcast with Chris on a different podcast, not ours, obviously, but it doesn't look like they're making any major changes to the events this year, so the schedule should be very, very close to the same. So if you're looking at booking holidays, like if you need to do it soon, it sounds like the events are going to be pretty much the same as last year.
Yeah, okay.
So, and they're announcing the events at PRI. So what's that? December 7th, December 8th area, 9th maybe.
My goodness, I'm just looking at the map, and I just realized I had put a deposit on some 2J parts in Charlotte that we were going to pick up on the way home.
And we never did.
No.
Huh.
Nope.
Yeah. What were they?
Spare parts. I don't. It's been so long. I think there's a timing belt, maybe a crank damper, an OEM one, some other things. I don't know.
Too much fucking money if you're like depositing parts and then remembering 8 months or like 6 months later.
Yeah.
So like, do you think you still got them?
Yeah, probably.
Was it a shop or like a fucking Craigslist
Just a
ad?
dude. Just a dude on Facebook, you know.
He's
Send
just
him a
sitting there
message
right
like,
now, like, man, when's this
Yeah.
guy showing up? I thought Grid Life was over already.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just fucking going hungry on his front porch.
Yeah. Just sitting there waiting. Oh, man.
That's brutal. Yeah, you should probably message him be like, hey man, kind of forgot. Hope you don't mind waiting a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that cool? Can I still pick them up?
I paid a deposit. God.
If they're not there, I totally get it, but it'd be totally awesome if they were.
I've still got people messaging me about that friggin' wing. That I've been. I guess I probably didn't tell you about this. Maybe I did. There's a dude who lives in Sarnia, I think.
Sure.
And he wanted to buy my GTR replica wing that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, shit, I'm gonna be going to Grid Life, and we gotta drive pretty much through there, so you could like meet up with us or something. He's like, sweet, sure. And then I never bought the wing. And I'm like, oh yeah, the plane, they couldn't take it because it was too big or something. I made some shit up. And anyway, and then another guy who's like a little bit more local to me, but not really. He's still like a good 10-hour drive away. Was all like, oh man, like, who's got a GTR wing for sale? I'm like, oh, I do. And then I'm like making excuses for that guy too because I'm like so lazy. I can't find.
You're what's wrong with Kijiji, man.
Yeah.
I know. I can't find the parts. I'm missing like some of the hardware to bolt it together and attach it to the car or whatever. And I'm like, you need some hardware. He's like, oh yeah, no problem, whatever. I'm like, yeah, it's $150 plus shipping. And he's like, oh sweet, yeah, I'll buy it for sure. I'm like, cool. And it's been like 3 weeks now. And they messaged me again. He's like, hey, I'm still interested in that wing if you still got it. I'm like, oh yeah, I just moved. I can't find anything right now. So you have to give me some
Can't
time
find
to
an
find
entire
it.
fucking wing.
Yeah, I got to organize my shop before I can find any of the stuff. Yeah, he's like, okay, cool, man. Just let me know. Yeah. I feel bad for the guy, but he's just like,
You're such an asshole.
he really wants it.
Maybe he's a listener.
It's like an easy $100, but I mean, it's just I gotta package it up and like put a label on it and stuff. I do have
It is brutal. It took me forever even just to package up that Super Dragger muffler.
yeah, it's just like holy crap, just to get rid of this thing. And like I don't know, I got a printer now, so at least I could print off a label for it. That's a plus. Yeah, I was like, hey, I got an office. I better buy a printer for my office. So I did. Just a HP LaserJet, like black and white one or whatever, but you know, just
Clayton,
office
your
things.
roommates are going crazy upstairs.
Oh, good. They're
Yeah.
both playing World of Warcraft, you know? Maybe they're getting into it.
Oh, really?
Oh, are they?
Yeah, Ian's into it. Will's into it.
Where's
It's a
the
lively party up there.
what the fuck's that lizard's name? What happened to her?
Oh, Zoe?
Zoe, yeah.
Oh, I had to make him get rid of it because the garage is
well, that's
not suitable for a lizard.
I know. There's like many moving parts in there.
Yeah, well,
Did you tell Garrett that we tried to hook Andrew up with a lizard?
Yeah, I was there.
yeah.
Oh, were you?
I helped Ian move.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And it was
Fuck,
right-
I don't know. You don't come visit anymore. You don't even write.
Can't even Skype.
Yeah, we're doing this TeamSpeak, you know, because you forgot your Skype password.
Yeah, I don't use Skype. It's outdated.
I have to use it way too much at work. I don't like it. It's weird.
Really?
Yeah. I have
Why?
clients that want to talk, but they want to like Skype instead because they want to. They're buying shit from me. They want to see if I look honest, and I'm like, no, I look like I'm 12. So.
Oh, they actually want to video call you.
Oh yeah. I've had it happen
Fuck, that's weird.
a bunch of times now.
That is weird.
I don't know, when they're buying a lot of fuel, I guess they want to take a look at the guy that's selling it to them.
I mean, that's fair, I suppose.
Yeah, well, and of course, like before any good Skype call, I take my pants off first, so
Yeah.
got to be comfortable.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
Just make sure you do not close your laptop. They might catch a
oh,
glimpse.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just shut it and you're like, what was that?
The last thing they see is just a dang.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know what? I think we're gonna sign this deal. Oh my God! What the
Yeah,
fuck?
just a quick little shot though, like just a glimpse.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
enough to like. Was it? What was that?
Yeah,
I don't
was it
know.
his dick?
Is that his
what?
dick? Was he just like had his thumb out on his lap? Maybe it was a really big skin tag.
Oh. That's gross.
Really big skin tag.
Oh, man.
On your little trip down to California, did you ever stop at a Chick-fil-A, Garrett?
I think I did. Did I?
You would know if you did.
No. If you didn't answer that with an affirmative yes, then no, you didn't.
Where did we go? We went to some restaurant like that, though. They
Did
had,
you go In-N-Out?
they had curly fries.
Yeah, they don't have curly fries at Chick-fil-A. They got waffle fries.
Yeah, you went to Arby's. We have those.
No,
here.
it wasn't Arby's. It wasn't Arby's. It was a different one. Carl's. No, it wasn't Carl's Jr. because we have those. What the hell restaurant was it?
have
Kaylin went
Carl's
there.
We don't have
Jr.?
those.
Yeah, we got Carl's Jr.
What?
No, we don't.
In Vancouver Airport, there's one.
Oh, well, Lottie fucking dog.
Mhm.
Yeah, or is the Calgary Airport? I can't remember which. No, I think it's Vancouver.
I don't remember seeing one there.
No, it wasn't Calgary. I was in Calgary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it was
I.
Vancouver
Yeah.
then. Yeah, I've eaten it like
Anyways.
twice.
Chick-fil-A. Actually, I didn't even get it. Believe it or not, that entire trip down, I did not get a Chick-fil-A. But from my understanding and watching two grown men have their eyes roll back in their head, I'm assuming it's pretty good.
Huh.
Andrew and I went out to go get food. So we went and we got Chick-fil-A. We both got a burger and fries. We ate those on the way and also bought an extra burger and fries so that we could also eat once we arrived back at the track.
Oh, so it's pretty good stuff, huh?
It was, oh man.
Dude, you need to come to Atlanta. That being said, though, you need to do some sauna training before you come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got lucky this year. It wasn't deathly hot, but the year before that, legitimately, Andrew almost died, and I got sick.
Yeah, I heard Andrew was like pretty rough that time.
Yeah, they wanted to stick him with needles. Like, they wanted to put an IV in him and shit
Yeah.
and take him to the hospital. And I'm like, do you have travel insurance?
Yeah, no.
Well, Nate and I wanted to get him to get just a quick little drip, but apparently you got to take him to the hospital for that now.
Yeah, you can't just throw shit in people's veins anymore.
Well,
like you
according
used
to Nate, they used to do that at these kind of events. If you had heat stroke, it was clearly just heat stroke. They give you a quick little saline drip, away you go on your way.
Huh.
But apparently now they want to take you to the hospital.
Yeah, because that way they can bill you for it.
Yeah, thanks, Obama.
Yeah.
That's how much I know about American politics.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my extent of knowledge of the government.
Yeah.
No, I don't. The Atlanta one just has such a kind of neat community almost. People
It's
are
different.
people are friendly.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't-
The South
weird.
is a lot more like Canadians, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Basically.
Yeah. Something like
Yeah,
that.
it's and we managed for the second year in a row to get ourselves into the paddock for camping, which I highly recommend. The only downside is that it's a lot hotter in there than maybe up in the bush. But you know what? After we did a drive up like into the camping area, I'm pretty happy we got a spot in the paddock.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The only problem with the paddock is it is a windless pavement valley.
It just like absorbs heat, and then
Yeah,
and
it
then
just-
at
it
night
sits in there.
expels it on you.
Yeah, it has nowhere to go. It sits in the valley. And you just cook.
Yeah, the only wind you get is from the cars going by.
Yeah.
Or the fan I bought and put in the tent the first year.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. And the only other downside is you walk so much. Next year we're booking in a golf cart. I don't care.
I'm good. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'll split it.
I should get a scooter. Just like a razor scooter.
Dude, it's got a big hill. We can get going real
Oh, we
quick.
can get real fucking squirrely. I'm bringing my rollerblades next year. I don't give a fuck.
Dude, I'll drive the golf cart. You can sketch.
That's how I broke my collarbone. So that's probably not a
Perfect.
great idea.
We'll hit the hill.
Yeah, I'm all right. Although going down Garrett, what are you doing?
Sorry,
What?
the mic it's like slowly sinking to the ground. Because
I can't wait till we have like a video component.
Are
of
you
this.
following it?
No, I was looking at the audio file and I noticed that the waveform kept getting smaller and smaller, and I'm like, "What's going on?" I realized the mic was sitting on my desk.
Yeah, I'll normalize that later. See, I'm learning these things.
Well, look at you go.
Look at you using words.
I know.
Normalize
Yeah.
isn't going to help though if he's already got a tall peak.
Yeah, there is some
Oh.
pretty good peaks coming in there. But
What you want is compression.
Right. To compress it all to the same. Okay. All right. Good to know.
yeah, it's I put the pop filter on because I was getting some pops earlier, and now it's the added weight is causing the mic to stand and not stay together.
There's a fine balance.
Yeah, I need to get one of those doodads that Clayton's got that bolts to the desk.
Oh, dude, it's like $20 on Amazon.
I know, just lazy, you know.
I've got I've got one of the newer.
Yeah.
One of the ones, that bolts onto it. It's pretty good. The only downside though is I think anything from IKEA is like literally a 1/16 of an inch too thick for the clamp. Like I have a smaller version of the coffee table that's upstairs in my living room, and fucking I can't do it. Like it's so close, but just won't do it.
Huh. Yeah,
that's the only downside.
My desk is a piece of shit, so it's super thin. You can clamp whatever you want to it.
We should do these more often. I'm just saying, like I'm trying to do these weekly, but lining up guests is a fucking pain in the ass. People and their schedules, man.
Yeah.
It's like Kijiji all over again.
Well,
it's like people saying they're gonna do something and then they don't, and make up stupid excuses why they didn't.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it goes. That's life.
I know. We're here now. It's midnight. So
the 2-hour time difference doesn't help. And the fact
is that it?
Right now it is. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock here.
What time did you eat dinner then?
8, I think.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I was working.
And they took an hour and a half shit.
Yeah. Oh my god. It was bad.
Okay, just remember, this is being recorded, and
I'm just saying.
And we get about 1,000 downloads per episode right now. So before you go into too much detail,
I'm not going into detail. I'm just saying it was bad. That's why I was later. Right. And I did work all day.
Sure, you did.
I did.
I've seen what you do for a living. It's mostly snowmobiles.
Well, actually, today I didn't even use the snowmobile. It was just in the back of the truck the whole time. I walked a lot though, and it was like +1 today. So like walking in snow is brutal. So yeah, it was not fun.
Worst job ever.
Yeah.
Walking in snow, it sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. I work in sales.
How much snow do you have up there still, or now?
Depends on where you are, but I think about 1.5 feet.
Jeez.
Something like that. There was one though. I was in a ditch today. Like I had to cross a ditch to get to this test station and take a reading on it. And when I guess it was at one point it was full of water, and then there was a layer of ice that had frozen, and then beneath it was nothing. And so I crossed it, and then I went back and I stepped through the ice, and it was like up to my nuts, the snow. But luckily there was no water in the creek still, which is good.
I thought you got into soaking.
No, I know. I was wearing waterproof boots and everything still, so worst case scenario I wouldn't have been like right soaked. But yeah, it was like I almost couldn't get out of the ditch because it was like my crotch was like up in the snow. It was brutal.
Did you have to like beckon for help, or did you just kind of like moan like a wounded animal?
No, I just dug around in myself until I could move.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't
Were you by yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be freaky.
Yeah, I'm by myself. Everything, everywhere.
Do you not have like a little like thing you can press if a bear's about to eat you?
Yeah, I do have one of those.
So that the company can reclaim their equipment?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it's really for.
Yeah, here's where all your stuff is. Yeah, we've got this.
Next to this giant red spot in the snow.
We've got GPS tracking and fall alert and like no motion alert, and it's got a gas monitor on it for like low oxygen and high CO and hydrogen sulfide, that sort of shit.
Is it like one box or like?
Yeah, one unit that just
you just have all these monitors hanging off you.
It's like as big as my Galaxy phone, but thicker. So yeah, it's not they're not huge. They're pretty light actually, and the batteries are good. The battery lasts like 2 days for you to recharge it, which isn't too bad. But the funny thing is that apparently these ones are new because they used to be the gas monitor was separate from the GPS. Now it's one unit, and apparently whenever any of the alerts go off for any reason, Kim, our boss, she gets a text, and because these are integrated, we have to have the GPS on us at all times, even on snowmobiles. And snowmobiles have no cats, and the exhaust comes out right underneath the front of the thing. So the CO monitor goes off all the time. Apparently, Ben gave Kim 92 texts in one day for CO because it just goes off constantly. And you're not supposed to turn it off because you need to have the tracking on you. But obviously Ben just turned it off because it was like it wouldn't stop going off. Because they're like, we asked about that when they gave us these things. They're like, hey, so what about like when we go on sleds and ATVs? Like they always set the monitors off, and they're like, oh, we can turn the sensitivity down on it, so it won't be as sensitive to that sort of stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. Yeah, did not work. So
like they can catch you sleeping on the job then when like your fall alert goes off.
Yeah, the no motion alert goes off after 30 minutes of no motion, so you can get about a 25-minute nap in, and then
you gotta shake it and then go back to bed.
Yeah, you gotta press it'll beep at you. You gotta press the button to acknowledge you're not dead. So it sucks when you like. I remember one time I got in shit because now we're going back to shit again. Actually, I had
hang on.
What?
You were on the can for longer than 30 minutes?
No. I had to take a dump in the middle of nowhere, but it wasn't quite the middle of nowhere. There were people, like, sort of. It was on a road, so I pulled off the road to this, like, kind of a graveyard of oil and gas equipment, and found like a little building that was just an abandoned building that they used to be on top of a well or something like that. I'm like, but it was windy, so I didn't want to, and it was like winter time, so I didn't want to just like go in the middle of a field because there's snow everywhere. But anyway, so I go into the building, and I took my jacket off and threw it in the truck and went in the building. I forgot that the GPS was attached to my jacket. So, and by the time I walked out there and then walked back, I had missed a check-in, and the thing was going off, and I got in shit for shitting. So, yeah.
So you just pooped in a random building is what really how this story ends.
Yeah, so hopefully nobody who works in oil and gas in BC hears that, because not that I've mentioned anywhere that it's from, although if some guy is listening who's like, wait a minute, that's my building. Happens to be the guy, the operator for that field. But like I said, it's a graveyard, so it's like all these buildings are just pulled out of sites, so they're likely to never be used again. But yeah, if someone walks in there, they're going to see a big pile of steaming poop. So
if it's still steaming, then you've got bigger issues.
Yeah, it's unlikely to be steaming anymore, because that was like a year ago. So I'm hoping it's probably broken down a bit.
Yeah. Here's hoping that's taken over.
Yeah. But long story short, I mean, the point of this is just that those things can be a pain in the ass sometimes if you forget them places or forget to turn them off.
Always comes back to poop.
I had one. I put one on the box edge of my truck and then drove away without remembering it there. And yeah, it's now in the ditch somewhere along the highway. Who knows where that is?
Well, it's got GPS, so hopefully they can find it.
Well, that's the thing is the problem with these stupid things is that they are GPS, but they communicate with a bridge, and the bridge goes in your truck. And if they get farther than about 2 clicks away from the bridge, they disconnect, and you no longer are able to track it. So once I got 2 clicks away, that was it. They only had the last known position of it, which is a several kilometer stretch from where I left to where it says it was. And apparently, a couple people did go looking for it when they were up there the last time, but yeah, it's long gone.
Acceptable loss.
Yeah, lucky that was the one. That was before we got the ones with the gas monitors, so it was only worth $400 or so. But the new ones are worth like $1,000, I think. So hopefully I don't lose a new one.
Jesus.
I think I'll be good though, because they're all one unit now, so it's like less things to lose. Right?
I guess.
Is that how
when
it
you
works?
lose it, you're fucked.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, you're really fucked. Speaking of fucking money, I just got my windshield replaced in my truck last Wednesday, I think, or Thursday, and yesterday I got a chip in the windshield. Yeah, that sucks. But on the plus side, we discovered that this one shop in town that does windshields also details your vehicle when they do it for no additional charge. So
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, my truck's all clean now, which is nice.
I just had my pickup in because the front driver's side hub would not come out of 4-wheel drive.
Oh.
Well, it kind of did. I guess from my understanding, the way those hubs work is on a vacuum system.
Yeah.
So when you turn on the truck, it pulls it out of 4-wheel drive, which is kind of dumb that the default is in 4-wheel drive. You think it'd be the other way around.
Huh. It may be a different model, or maybe the F-150 versus the 250s or something, because I know on certain F-250s it is the other way around. The vacuum locks the front hubs because we were having issues with our trucks not locking the front hubs. So you have to, but on the F-250s you can manually lock them, which is nice. Yeah. So that's what we had to do. But yeah, in the wintertime, the vacuum lines ice up and stuff, and they don't lock. So you only get 2-wheel drive out of the trucks. So, but maybe the F-150s are different because they don't have manual locking hubs.
Yeah, it's all electronic, but it ended up being that the seal on the hub was fucked, because what would happen
does happen.
I would put it in 4-wheel drive, and then if I was like, I'd get onto the highway and I would turn it back onto 2-wheel drive and it would be fine. But the moment I went to like turn more than a few degrees, then it would lose vacuum and then try to go back into 4-wheel.
Huh.
But it just sounded like a dildo on a metal table. Like just the whole truck was vibrating like crazy.
Oh, really?
Clayton heard it. Clayton felt it.
Yeah, it was nice. It was lovely.
Yeah, it was quite nice.
My truck's doing this thing where if I put it in 4 low, it doesn't want to come out of 4 low. It just goes into, if you switch it into 2 high or 4 high, it just goes into like a neutral, and nothing works.
You're supposed to put it into neutral when you're switching in or out of 4 low.
And that's what I do. Put it in 4 low.
Oh, okay.
And then every time it'll be like shift delayed. Please pull ahead. I'm like, okay. So I pull ahead, and then I go to pull ahead, and nothing happens. It's just like the engine revs up, nothing happens. And then I put it into 2 high. Same thing. When just put it back into 4 low, and then it works. And yeah, I had like twice now. I had to fight with it, just dicking with it to try to get it to go into gear, and finally it would eventually go. It makes this like nice grinding noise. It's like, and then it's in whatever gear I put it in, usually 4 high. Yeah, so I think the transfer case has got some problems with it.
What are you doing in 4 low?
I was trying to crawl out of some snow. I was stuck in some snow, and typically when you get into this type of snow, if you just gun it, you just spin and it just digs holes. But if you can creep slow enough, it kind of climbs itself out.
It makes its own little ramp kind of.
Yeah, and I got out, but then I couldn't get into 4 high, and I had to climb a hill that required me to have speed, and 4 low you could not get speed with, obviously. Yeah, and I couldn't get into 2 high, or into 4 high, and yeah, that was a real pain in the ass. So lucky I had Sam with me, so I made him just shovel a little pathway for me to kind of like, so I could get enough speed to keep going. And because it was a long drive to get out of there, and I was like sketched out because I didn't even want to go in there. And Sam, I don't know why I listened to him. He's like, "Oh, it'll be fine." Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "Okay," but it wasn't fine. I should have known better because I've been stuck enough times to know.
God damn it, Sam.
Yeah, that guy. Well, I shouldn't listen to him. He always gives me bad advice. That guy.
Yeah, when my truck was in the shop, I mentioned to because we service it at the company shop, right? And I was like, hey, when I got an oil change done, they had recommended that I do this, this, and this. And the guy who runs the shop, Roger, it was straight up. He's like, well, we've never done the tranny fluid in this truck. I'm like, it's got 340,000 kilometers. He's like, yeah, so I'm concerned that if we drop the tranny fluid, it's just going to stop working. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, it's probably just holding itself together with grime and shit. He's like, but we checked it. There's still fluid in there, so we're good. But we're not going to drop it. And I'm like, all right, man, it's not my truck, so that's fine. But yeah, it's going to be that truck. The fact that truck's still operating is insane.
Yeah, that's no shit. I got my truck for some reason, like, this is in 2-wheel drive or 4, it doesn't really matter, but it'll happen in 2-wheel drive as well, which is what sketches me out. If I accelerate slowly or especially while like making a left or a right turn, the truck vibrates, like from the rear, like it's almost like the diff is locking up or trying to lock up or something. It's really weird. And I had it in a shop, and they're like, oh yeah, the slide pins on this caliper are seized, so it's the caliper's rubbing. I'm like, okay, well that doesn't make sense to me because I don't think that's what it is, but do what you got to do. And so they replace the slide pins and lube the caliper, and they're like, yep, good to go. And like the second I pull the parking lot, it's no better. And I'm like, what the So yeah, I have no idea what's going on there because nothing's rubbing on anything or like there's no signs that something should be wrong. But part of me thinks the wheel bearing is going because the truck does kind of whine quite a bit on the highway, like it almost kind of howls. So I think something is worn out and making a lot of noise. But it's like I'm working so much that whatever, wheel falls off, so be it. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, Clayton, what kind of issues are you having with your truck?
What kind of issues? It doesn't work.
Yeah, we gotta get on that.
Yeah. Well, it's in Barrie at least, so.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, it's stored at Greg's, actually, with your car.
Sitting there with the old Civic.
Right next to the Civic.
Yeah, Civic, the trailer, and the truck.
Oh.
All doing their thing, you know?
Being broken.
Yep.
And then the Supra is in storage as well, kind of.
Yeah, expensive storage.
Super expensive storage.
Yeah. What's the situation with that car? Is it going to get done this year or what? Or next year, I mean?
Well, first of all, use the word done. That's wrong.
Well, is it going to be on the road?
Yeah, it'll be on the road. I paid too much.
Yeah.
Come too far.
Yeah. Basically, even if I didn't like it anymore, I'd have to put it on the road because I'm just paying too much money.
Yeah.
I can't put fire and theft on it. So I pay full insurance. I paid full insurance this entire year to not ever drive it.
Actually, I have no insurance on my car right now. I should probably fix that. Here,
I debated taking the
lapses.
insurance off, but it's just such a bitch to put back on.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? It's worth it just to pay it to not have to deal with the aggravation I went through last time.
Yeah, ICBC is nice enough that you can just like kind of do whatever you want. Just be all willy-nilly with it. I should probably go in and get some storage insurance put on it though, so it's, you know, if the shop burns down, I don't lose my car. Or I mean,
if it falls over,
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say, there's a bad reputation of buildings falling. So
yeah, this within this group.
yeah, specifically.
Yeah, so I should do that, and because the party wagon's finally got some tires on it, so I can drive that thing now.
Nice.
Because it was like super sketchy drive that in the snow. 2-wheel drive and like bald tires. But yeah, I got some tires at work. And Marvin was like, I mean, how much do you want for these tires? And Marvin's like, I don't know, $50 a tire. I'm like, yeah, I guess so. And then I go look at the tires, like harder. And 2 of them are like pretty much brand new. The other 2, one of them has a patch in it, and the other one, and they're kind of worn, but they have studs in them, which is kind of nice. And I'm like, I don't know. And then Carl's there, and he's like, I don't know. Well, tell him $25 for 2 of the tires, and then $50 for the other 2. I'm like, I guess so. But Lisa is the person who takes the money for this, because we just pay for this. We give the money to her for like the social fund, so we can like pay for events and shit for work. And I'm like, I could just go up to Lisa and be like, yeah, I bought these tires for $100. Here goes, here's $100. And then she'd be like, okay. So I haven't paid for them yet at all.
Jesus Christ.
Even better.
Yeah. So yeah, I just took them to the sea can and put them in the back of the van. Drove with the van over to the tire shop. Was like, put these on, please. And yeah, here we are
On the expense account.
Yeah, I should have built a Corpro.
There you go.
Yeah.
Never even know.
No, I did pay for that myself, and it's like expensive, but whatever. It's cheaper than buying those tires because they're the Cooper Discover STs. They're like $250 a tire new.
Yeah, I had those on the Fiesta.
Yeah.
They wore out super fucking quick.
You had Cooper Discover STs? They're mud and snow tires. They're like mud bogging tires.
Pretty sure that was what was on there, but I'll take a look. They were Cooper. Oh wait, maybe they weren't Discovers. They were Cooper. What the fuck were they? I don't know. They were Cooper tires either way, and I hated them. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go carte blanche and say that all their tires are shit.
These tires are just old. They've been sitting in storage for years. There's no cracks or anything in them though, so I was like, whatever. And like I said, 2 of them are pretty much brand new looking. And now they're on the van.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I still need to
Party
do
wagon.
all the front end shit on it, like tie rod ends, pitman arm, and the drag link, all that sort of shit, wheel bearings. And I've got most of the parts. I just haven't had the motivation or time to do it.
Do you have the room in the shop to do it?
No, not in my shop.
Okay.
No, with both of our cars in there's not enough room for a third vehicle to work on it. At least you could park 3 vehicles in there, but you wouldn't be able to work on any of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's not quite that big. But
So many projects.
oh man, I've got so many things on the go. The shop needs to get organized and prepped and stuff, and then the house. There's still a lot of shit we gotta do in the house. Gotta finish the fireplace, but that's up to Caitlin. She gotta order some of the materials because she wants to pick the mantelpiece and crap for the fireplace. And there's like other just random things. I gotta put some shelving in the office because we got so much crap. We just like between the 2 of us, we have just so much shit, and I don't want to put it all in the shop for storage because I want space to work.
Yeah.
First thing I did though was I installed a brand new breaker panel in the shop because it had like a 6-slot 40 amp breaker panel in there. I'm like, that's kind of gay. And every single outlet in the wall is on one circuit.
No.
And I was like, what the but there were 2 outlets, one opposite wall from the other, there was no outlet there. It was just an empty box with some wires sticking out. And when I was installing the new panel, I discovered that those outlets were at one point at 220 volt outlets. They're wired for 220, which is illegal now because you can't have that 15 amp wire. Well, I mean, you could use 15 amp wire for that because it's a 15 amp breaker, but those little outlets, you're not supposed to use those little 220 volt outlets anymore. They have to be the bigger ones. So they wouldn't fit in that box. So I was like, fuck it. So I just swapped the breaker out to a single pole breaker and then wired 10 volt outlets into there. So now I have 2 circuits in the walls for the outlets instead of 1. So 2 outlets are on one circuit, and then the other 6 are on another circuit. And then I have 3 outlets in the ceiling, they're like extension cords that kind of hang down. Those are on their own breaker as well. So now I've got 3 separate circuits for outlets, which is nice. 3 15 amp circuits. And then I wired in a 220 volt outlet for the compressor. But I made sure it was an outlet so I can unplug it and then plug in like a welder or something if I wanted to. But I'm going to probably end up moving the compressor to the other side of the garage and wiring in a hard wire for that. Just like a complete junction box dealio. And then the outlet will stay empty. Yeah, that way I'll have the compressor on its own circuit. I'll have an outlet for the welder, and I'll have a third 220 volt socket that'll go up to a junction box in the ceiling that'll eventually wire into the hoist when that gets here. And then, yeah.
Is that on its way?
Not yet. No, I haven't ordered it yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm waiting till springtime, till there's like the shop's kind of organized enough. I gotta get some wheel dollies too, because I want to put it in before the snow's gone, so I can do like the axle seal and shit in my car. But in order to do that, I need to move the car out of the space that it's in.
I just picked up some wheel dollies actually.
Well, like we have a set kind of we have to pick up from a friend, but those are technically Kalen's. So, but if I can just kind of like jack up the front of her car and then use the jack to kind of move it over, then I can get away without the dollies for now, and then put the dollies underneath my car, and then I can slide it out of the way. Because if I rotate the car sideways, then I should have enough room to put the hoist in with the car in the shop. Because I can't get it out of the shop because the back alley is, it's just a dirt road with snow on it, and our shop backs onto the alley, not to the road, which is like a thing here in town.
Oh, like an access road between rows of houses?
Yeah, exactly. It's just an alleyway between the houses. Yeah. And it's plowed occasionally, but obviously I wouldn't bring the car out in the snow anyway.
I'm sure it'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
Man, I'd break it so fast, though. Especially up here, because the roads are not, like, fun snow. It's all just, like, shitty packed ice and stuff, and like, they don't plow the side roads very well, so the car would be stuck in about 3 seconds. Just trying to getting Kalen's her other Z, her I guess less important one. We parked it beside the shop just to get it there with like 2 inches of snow on the ground was a battle. I got it stuck like 3 times. I had to dig it out just because and it had like all season tires on it too, which didn't help. But yeah, it was brutal. I finally just like rammed it into a spot and was like, okay, this is where it's sitting.
Which is where this lives now.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because it's like right in the middle of the opening between the shop and the fence, so I can't back my truck up there to turn around, so I can't turn around back there at all now. So I have to back down the entire alley to get in or out, which kind of sucks because
that's a pain in the dick.
It's a long alleyway, but whatever.
You should see if there's like any ice racing, and then take the Skyline out. That'd be kind of cool.
There is. But I have to get some different tires for it.
Oh no!
I could always use those 18-inch wheels that I have, those 7.5-inch ones. Get some sweet snow tires for those with some studs.
There you go. Now we're talking.
Yeah, I gotta put my coilovers in the rear though, so I can race it up.
Oh yeah, right.
Jack up the car. Right now it's so low to the ground, it would just like rip the exhaust off as soon as I hit a pile of snow or something.
Yeah, because I think that's one of those. If you're gonna do ice racing, you pretty much have to assume you're gonna hit a bank at one point.
Yeah, it's like guaranteed from what I've seen out on the lake. Because we do have they do set up a track in the wintertime on the lake.
Nice.
In town here, so yeah, and my friends have done it. Like my one buddy, he's got an LS swapped FCR7, and he made his own studded tires for it and jacked up suspension and stuff, and just was out there ripping around. He put like 2-inch screws through the tires.
And then what, like through a tube inside or something?
I don't know. I think he just siliconed the inside of them.
Oh my god.
So yeah, it was.
That dude's my spirit animal. That's amazing.
Yeah, it like
siliconed it.
The amount of time it must have taken for him to do that. I forget. He told me how long it took, but I can't remember what it was. It was a long time. Because, there's like a couple hundred screws per tire.
Yeah, and they've got to be semi-balanced. Like, you kind of have to... It's not just like you're throwing them in there willy-nilly.
Yeah, you got to have a pattern so that they're not too far offset from each other so that you start getting weird vibrations and crap. I mean, I doubt they're perfectly balanced because, like, they're homemade, but still, yeah, there's certain... You don't want your car to vibrate apart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good stuff. There's some drone footage somewhere of this car ripping around, but I can't remember where it is.
I think you should just buy like a $500 beater and go out there and fucking ice race it every moment you can.
I did. It's just in the wrong province.
We can get it to you next year.
Yeah.
I guess. Let me fix my truck.
I guess I got to put that on my list of goals. Is to get my car here, my other car here.
Yeah, you're gonna want to bring the van and a trailer.
Yeah, I know.
That night kind of sucked. I was not super happy with you that evening.
Well, hey, you could have just said, fuck you, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I could have, but your dad would have made me come do it anyways.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what happened, actually.
What, picking up the Civic from his house?
Yeah.
Dad was like, get this shit out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a fun night.
Yeah.
We were making fun of you. It was good.
Great.
Yeah, Clayton fucking like one shot at the car under the trailer too.
Well, you kind of have to. It's like...
Yeah, you got to send it.
Yeah.
You did. Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
I line that shit up, man. I'd never miss.
No, that was another fucking stupid late night. I'm trying to think. I was like when I was editing that video of us doing the inner tie rod and like afterwards, I looked at it, I'm like, holy fuck, that was like, we didn't wrap up till like 2 a.m. And then I'm thinking back, I'm like, oh yeah, there's the night that we took Garrett's car. I'm like, we didn't wrap up. I didn't get home till like 3.
I thought it was later than that on the tie rods too.
Yeah, I can't remember. I want to say it was like 2 o'clock before we wrapped up, and then I went home, so it was like 3:30.
I thought it was an hour after that.
It might have been. I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Either way, we were up a long time because I didn't think you got there till like midnight.
Yeah, you're right. Because we thought it was just going to be like quick, like couple of minutes. Then we realized how much more fucking work we had to do because I don't know how to measure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about par for the course for us.
Yeah, I got it done though.
Yeah, it's pretty standard, I think.
Yeah, a bunch of guys were like shitting on me on the fucking Ford Motor Company drift. So like, why would you extend the inner tie rods? Why wouldn't you just get Heim joints and do the outers? I'm like, look, dude, it was easier for me to find somebody with a lathe and a hunk of metal than it is for me to find a fucking Heim joint in Muskoka.
Yeah.
So and then it's just funny. Like most of those guys are really really good, and then I straight up said that, and then everyone's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And I was like. That's it. They're like, well, did you account for bump steer? And I felt like saying, I'm like, have you seen the car that it went on? Like, no, I did not account for bump steer.
Yeah. I made the tire rods longer because I wanted to be able to straighten the fucking tires out. That's all.
Yeah, because it had like 20 degrees of toe in before that.
Oh, that's brutal.
Oh, it was really bad. Yeah. And it was partially my fault because I like reread some old emails from the guys at Drift Knuckles. And he's like, you need longer tie rods. I recommend these. And I clearly did not listen and just bought fucking OEM tie rods for it off Rock Auto for like $5. And I was like, okay, I'm determined to make these work.
Hey, we got a cool project out of it.
There you go.
It was a cool little video. I was pretty happy with it. You could tell.
Spinny things and some tiggy things. And
yeah. Tiki. Yeah. Clayton says that, what was it? A lathe is just for making round things smaller.
Makes round things rounder and smaller.
Yeah, I think it was just round. Making anything round.
Yeah, you can make anything round with a lathe.
Yeah, that thing was awesome.
If you know your things, you can make things square.
That's true. Yeah, get the right attachments and whatnot.
I can afford it. I can make anything square or I can make anything
There
round.
you go.
Yeah. And you just got all those quick releases.
Yeah, that's what you call them. Quick releases.
Is that what it's called?
No.
Tool change? Quick tool change?
Yeah.
I don't know. Fuck. You talk
Quick
and I
change.
listen most
Quick
time.
change tool post.
Sure.
Nice.
Machining is one of those things, like, it's almost like computers where I'm like, look, I'm going to learn just enough for me to get by. And everything else, I know people.
There
I
was
have someone for that.
There was an old lathe for sale here actually just recently I saw. I was kind of like thinking about it, but then I'm like, I don't have the time for this right now. I don't know what I would do with it, how would I even get it there into the shop with the access I have. I'm like, no. And it was still, the guy still wanted like $2,500 for it. And I didn't really want to spend that. But yeah, I almost bought a lathe.
That's worth
it. was
it.
a really, really, really old
I
lathe.
already need a bigger lathe, but I need a bigger garage. Really, is what it comes down to.
This lathe was, I don't think this lathe was very big. I couldn't, there's no pictures of it. I can't remember what the name of it was. It's a Logan.
Oh yeah, Logans are. Oh, it's typically Logans are about the same size. The most common ones that you see are about the same size as the one that I got. I paid $1,000.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and
So
I think
you should have bought it.
I think it's a similar
9-inch?
design.
Would it be Logans are very similar to the South Pens. Was it like a 9-inch or a 10 or
I
12,
don't think
13?
it said it's. I think the model is a
7?
The model is a 211, but I don't know what that means.
You mean 11-inch?
No,
Maybe.
it's. I don't think it's that big. No, there's no way it's that big. 11 inches? That's huge.
What? 11-inch throw. It doesn't. Mine's a 9-inch throw, and it's pretty small.
Miller Mig Welder. Let's see if it's
Too
still for
many-
sale.
Too many jokes available.
Yeah,
Just
really.
gonna leave that one alone.
Cutting table. I don't need a cutting table. There's so.
Or do
the
you?
problem with these stupid things. Oh yeah, Logan 211 metal lathe. Does it say? Very good shape. Lots of new tooling plus lots of old stuff. 3 and 4 jaw chuck drill. One ear is broken off the lid. Comes with a heavy table. Newer electric motor. Text this guy for pics. I went and Googled it. But typing in.
It looks about the same size. Might be a little smaller. It might be yeah, it's about the same size as mine.
Yeah.
It's nearly the exact same size as mine.
Do it. Lead life.
I don't.
Yeah, man.
Do not have $2,500.
Oh, they said it was
really
250.
that's really expensive.
No, 2,500.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, don't do it.
It was 250. Yeah, I would have bought it already.
That's what I thought, and I was like, why are we even having this discussion? And why is that thing still available if it's only
Yeah.
$250?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I've seen other ones for sale too. I saw a really big one. It's not as old, but the guy wanted like $4,000 for it. It was nice.
Yeah, what you need is a bigger shop and a mill.
Yeah, a nice big horizontal mill. Kind of sweet.
Horizontal mill. Why would you want that?
I need a horizontal bandsaw. Actually, is what I need.
I got one of them.
I see that. Yes.
Yeah.
$150.
Oh, really?
Yeah, brand new, pretty
I
much.
found one for sale used, but it wasn't that cheap. It was still, I think the guy wanted like $500 or something. But at the time, it was before I moved, and there was no reason for me to get it because I wouldn't have had anywhere to put it. But now I have somewhere to put it, and of course, it's not for sale anymore. But that's just how she goes.
Yeah, Clayton needs a big garage. That's key. That needs to happen soon.
Yeah. Yeah, my goal right now is to pay off the credit card at 0 and then buy the hoist, because hoist ain't cheap. I'm not buying a used one because I don't want to die.
I've seen them like really come down in price. What was Greg's again? Like $2,800.
Yeah.
The one I'm looking at is $3,700, $3,800. Yeah, $3,800. That includes shipping.
Oh yeah, right to fucking middle of nowhere. Does that come on dog sled or how do you get that?
Usually you can be Ski-Doo.
Yeah.
UPS sled.
Yeah, the UPS sled.
Sled.
It's just a really big Ski-Doo.
600 Amazon drones just all
Yeah.
strapped to it. Looks like the movie Up. Just fucking hoist floating through the air just as every drone's dying.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a couple cheaper ones, but I want one that has low profile arms, obviously. And I'm also limited to the height of it, so I had to get an open top one that has the floor plate, kind of like Adam LZ. because the ones that all the ones that have the top plate are like 12 feet tall, and I have 10-foot ceilings.
Cut a hole. Duh.
Well, I was thinking about that, but the problem is the roof joists are like the trusses are all part of that. So if I cut a hole in the ceiling, I basically destroy the structural integrity of my roof, and that might be a problem. But in the future,
then we get another vehicle with a building collapse.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, the hoist that I'm looking at, it's a 96-foot post height, and it has a
96 foot. Holy fuck,
96
dude.
inches. Sorry, 96
Yeah.
inch post height.
She's a fucking tall one for those extra tall cars you want to get on there.
But it does have a total lift height of 72 inches, which is 6 feet.
Sorry, I'm laughing at what Clayton just fucking shared on the group chat. Oh my god. Open your phone and watch that. That's
What
outstanding.
the fuck?
Oh my god. When you put googly eyes on anything, it makes life
I
better.
couldn't help but share that one.
Sorry, I derailed that one. Oh man. For anybody listening, it is a log stripper, and someone has just put googly eyes and arms on it, so it looks like this piece of machinery deep throating and then throwing up a log. Anyways, it's too good. It's too hard to explain. Doesn't do it justice.
I love how the pupils dilate at the end, like super big.
Yeah. Well, when you go that deep, you know.
Yeah, I get you.
Oh man. Well, we already banged out bung out an hour.
Bunged out.
We bunged
Bunged
out.
out an hour. We're an hour and 5 minutes in. Hopefully, if everybody synced their audio correct.
Yeah, I think mine's good. I think
And
if
I
Oh,
think-
mine didn't record.
What?
Mine didn't record.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Seriously?
No.
Why do you do that to me?
Oh,
I say we're gonna have this entire conversation over again verbatim.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we got someone else recorded it, right?
Yeah.
I'll just fill in my blank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haha.
I'll just take some sound clips and dub it in for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would take me about 3
Perfect.
weeks to do it.
Make a Clayton soundboard.
Yeah.
Oh my
When's
God.
when's the super gonna be done? Piece of shit, garbage. That's it.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you for free.
Yeah.
Oh, my
thanks.
god.
Start some
Too
rumors.
easy. Yeah. So yeah, that was so off topic. It was great, but it was
Yeah.
good catching up at least.
Yeah. And I'm like,
We talked about your car for like the first 10 minutes, and then it was moved on to your bowel movements
and lathes.
Would-
Yeah.
and lathes. I guess it was still automotive.
Yeah.
Based,
Almost,
fuck it.
Yeah. It's whatever. Close enough. They can
going
just
out,
skip
but,
those parts.
Fuck them. Fuck
Yeah.
them. All the listeners, all
Yeah.
6 of you.
Speaking of fucking them, I noticed that one of our videos isn't gonna be monetized because of it's not suitable for all advertisers.
You go back. Have you gone back through and seen how many of them we've gotten warnings on?
No, I can assume there's a few just because
That's a lot.
You swear so much.
Oh man, it sucks. I'm not happy about it. But and the worst part too is like, it says, "Oh, we'll review after the first 1,000 views." Well, the fucking algorithm's so terrible that like
Yeah.
none of the videos are hitting 1,000. Oh man,
Yeah.
talk about discouraging. Whatever, I'm having fun.
Yeah, exactly. We're
End
getting
of the day.
some post engagement here and there and stuff. So whatever.
Yeah, just content, just banging out content.
Yeah. People seem there's definitely enough people interested in the drift chicken that that you're getting people commenting and stuff on it. So
Yeah, it's different though. It's such a weird little niche group. Like on the Turbo Coupe forums and stuff like that, it gets a lot of love, and like on the Ford Drift stuff, it gets a lot of love. But it's such a niche market. I think that's what kind of hinders some of the views on it. But it's like, whatever, is what it is. It was kind of an experiment too of a different way to market it and shit like that. So we'll see what happens with it. I'm gonna do some work on it over the winter, although I have nowhere to work on it, so I gotta figure that
Yeah,
out.
I'm working on that too.
Yeah. I gotta do some work on the trailer, and then also I started filming some stuff for Chris STI on Instagram, I think it is.
yeah,
Steve Nairn built this car.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know it's something to do with
So
Steve.
yeah, so because Steve has fiber internet, and when I need to upload videos on Monday and Friday, I take my lunch break at Steve's shop. So I was like, well, I'm already here for like 20 minutes twice a week, like doing nothing other than just kind of shooting the shit. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to start documenting what you guys are doing to this car over the winter. So I've started filming that. I've got a couple of pieces done. I just want to get like a bit of a backlog going before I start releasing it. So that will hopefully be kind of a new series.
Oh,
So
okay.
that'll be kind of cool. Yeah, and it's like I'm not doing any real work other than, hey, Steve, what did you do this week? And then some glory shots of it, and then some shots of them working. Like I've left cameras and stuff for him to kind of film as he works.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll see how the spring goes. Maybe follow him to a couple of CSCS events. And he's been talking about going to Grid Life, so I was like, well, I'll hitch a ride. Like, fuck it. So kind of a different take, and it's Time Attack, and nobody covers Time Attack builds, man. Like I was looking on YouTube, and there's not a lot of shit there.
Huh.
And almost nobody covers CSCS.
No.
Not that it's a huge audience or a huge market, but like there's almost no footage whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I gotta somehow make Time Attack seem a lot more interesting, because in my mind it's not super visually stunning like drifting is, but drifting is so saturated now that trying to get your shit out there is almost impossible.
Yeah.
So man, fuck it, see what happens. He's a cool guy. He's a super cool guy. He's really good on camera, and the car is really cool to look at, and he's building like the entire thing out of carbon fiber himself.
Wow.
So yeah, he's building door skins right now. He already did a roof and did a rear window delete all out of carbon fiber, just dry.
Damn.
So the dude's super cool. So I'm gonna get, actually I think he's gonna buy his own camera and then film him doing carbon fiber work for me. So I was like, sweet, man,
Giver.
works for me.
Yeah.
And then what else? Oh, I talked to Rich from DeBoss Garage tonight. We're gonna try and work something out that's really neat that I can't talk about on the podcast.
Something that's really neat.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Looking really forward to the neatness.
it was like him and I've been going back and forth like pitching ideas, and this is the first one he pitched to me, and then I kind of was like added on to it. But it's like literally we talked about it tonight, so I don't want to bring up anything on the official podcast and then it not happen. So
Fair enough. Yeah.
yeah, I'll mention it later, but it was pretty cool. Other than that, that's like kind of my plans for the winter. I gotta work on the trailer, so I'm gonna film some shit on that. It needs a lot of love. It's been neglected and beat on,
Poor trailer.
and the wheel bearings are like fucking toast. So that's like step one. The thing's gone way too far on the wheel bearings that are in there. And then what else? Maybe film Clayton's car if he ever decides to work on it.
Maybe.
And then
One day.
whatever you want to work on there, Garrett.
Remember that time I had a Supra?
Yeah.
You still have one. As long as you're paying your bills at the shop, you still have
Yeah.
one.
Remember,
If not, it's Peter's.
Yeah.
remember when you had that big manly truck?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that too. That was good
Yeah,
times.
Good times. Did some fun things in that beast.
That sounded
That sounds
really
okay.
gay. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure did.
Oh, fuck. So, anyways, well, I guess that's kind of what we can look forward to. And obviously, anybody listening, please check out the YouTube channel right now, or if you didn't already, check the full build video that Garrett released. You can find, I think you did like 14 parts on that build?
No, it's not that many parts. I think it's like 6 or 7 builds.
No, it was more than that. I think you hit double digits.
No. You
No.
crazy.
No, I don't know. I'm at 16 parts with the turbo coupe. I need to stop, but it's almost done. So
16 years. Yeah, you're getting there.
yeah, I think it'll probably be 20 by the time it's done. Like just based off of what I've already edited, which is way too many, but is what it is.
Yeah. Whatever. There's lots of them have lots of parts and whatever. Yeah, part 9 is the last one I have.
But then the over fender install was in there, so that's 10.
Okay, well, I mean, if you include that shit, yeah, that's 1. And then like the walk around build video is part of that, but it's not like a build video.
Yeah, just talking about it.
Yeah.
So, well, it's good. We'll keep pumping out that shit. I'm gonna keep trying releasing videos twice a week, even if it's like something super basic, but seems to keep the YouTube algorithm at least half decent. So far, it's been Mondays and Fridays, although I'm super willing to change that if I can see if there's a better day, but at this point doesn't really seem to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's about it. What's your Instagram handle again?
2J_34, I think.
And Clayton, what's yours?
ALOCAURD.
Alucard.
Yeah.
Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nailed it.
What the fuck's that from?
I don't know, made it up.
Oh.
People always assume that it was just a misspelling of Alucard, which is Dracula backwards, but
It's not.
No.
I fight that daily.
Yeah, it's 2J_R34. I think I said that, but I want to make sure that's the correct one because I keep getting confused.
Yeah. And then obviously at Pistonhead_Productions. And then mine's, if you care, because it's mostly my kids and food, is Jacko13, JAKO13. Other than that, cool, man. Well, it's been good catching up. I'm going to record an outro, so you can just say goodbye, and then we'll just stop recording, I guess.
Sweet, because, yeah, I got to go to bed.
Yeah,
Way past my bedtime. Way past my bedtime.
It's almost 1 o'clock here, so, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thanks again, guys, for listening. Make sure to hit up the Pistonhead Podcast every Wednesday. Videos out Mondays and Fridays. We try and release new content on Facebook, or at least old content that we've rehashed as new content at some point in time every day. It's been a pretty good upload schedule. Yeah, just make sure to subscribe, share the shit out of it, like it, comment. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. And please make sure to check out all the 2JZR34 shit. So, anyways, thanks again, guys. We'll have to do this soon. Clayton, you and I talk all the time, but we don't record it because that would be weird.
Nope. We can start.
And Garrett, don't be a fucking stranger.
Word.
All right. So now do we just all press end record at the same time?
Sure.
Do we have to sync the ending?
That doesn't make any sense.
It'd be fun.
It'd be fun.
Is everybody ready?
Sure.
I don't believe
I stop with delete key, right?
Worst podcast ever. All right, fuck it. I'm just ending it. Hey, guys, hopefully that wasn't too crazy for you. Thanks again for listening. We really appreciate all of your support. Please make sure to subscribe to this podcast. Check out the videos on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Pistonhead Productions. Mondays and Fridays, we release those videos. Wednesdays for the podcast. And yeah, thanks again for all your support. Please make sure subscribe, like, comment, any interaction you guys can give us, even if it's just a thumbs up on a post. It all means a lot. It all helps out. With all the changes in YouTube and Facebook right now, every little bit helps kind of get us through. So we really do appreciate it, and we will catch you guys next week where we're going to have, hopefully, more interesting guests. Thanks again, guys. Talk to you soon.